The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a seminary girl, who was an American girl who went to seminary in Eretz Yisrael. Before she left, her parents, who were mechanchim, said to her, "You should know, we're sending you to Eretz Yisrael. It's a very big financial stretch. It's difficult. We all know how expensive seminaries are. It's crazy. You should know something. We're going to send you to Eretz Yisrael in the beginning of the year, and you're going to come back at the end of the year in June. I know a lot of girls go home for Pesach. It's not in our budget. Just sending you to Eretz Yisrael is such a stretch. Please understand where we're coming from. We're giving you the most amazing opportunity. Pesach in Eretz Yisrael is not so bad." She was not so happy, but she said, "Okay, I want to go to seminary. If that's the Tanai, that's the precondition. I'm going to do it." Anyway, she goes to Eretz Yisrael, and she has an amazing year, a year of spiritual growth, in Emunah, in Pitachan, in trust, and faith, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She has a really great year. About 2-3 months before Pesach, the girls start talking about when they're going home. And she starts to realize that 80-90% of her seminary is going home for Pesach to the United States, and that her entire peer group is all going. She would have been alone for Pesach in Eretz Yisrael. And to add insult to injury, she wasn't the type of girl who had uncles in Eretz Yisrael, aunts, first cousins. She really didn't have any real relatives. So she'd be spending the Starim and spending the entire Yantif and even 2-3 weeks of Chodesh Nisan with strangers. And she was devastated. And she called her parents and she cried. She begged and she pleaded. And her parents said, "Listen, if someone writes out a check now for $1,400, we'll take you home tomorrow. But we made a deal. And you know what? You agreed to it. You'll deal with it. I'm telling you, if you stay in Eretz Yisrael, you'll end up having a beautiful Pesach." And she was devastated, crestfallen. Everyone's packing and they're buying gifts to bring home. And she's the loser, she felt, that's staying there. And all of a sudden, one day, she had a tremendous, epiphany. And she says, "Why am I giving up? My parents can't help me. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Avinu Shebashamayim, He could. Ki avi ve'imi yazavuni. Even if my parents can't help me, Vashem Yasveni, Hashem could bring me salvation." And she begins to implement the Emunah and Bitachon that she'd been learning about abstractly, practically. And she says, "Rabbeinu Shalom, I really don't feel this is right for me. It's right for me to go to the United States. Please help me." And she shared it with a friend that she's davening, and her friend said, "What, someone's going to come along and give you a $1,400 check?" She says, "Listen, Hashem could do anything. I've released myself. Now it's up to Hashem to decide what's right and wrong for me. If He wants me to stay, that's the right thing. If He wants me to go home, He can do anything." Not that long before all the girls were planning on leaving, maybe a few days before, a woman, a stranger, shows up to the seminary. She's American. She's a mother, maybe in her early 30s. And she says, "Can I speak to you girls? I need a favor." "Sure." This girl's outside, the one we're talking about, the one that wants to go back to the United States. She goes like this. She says, "Baruch Hashem, I have a house full of children, and we're going to visit my parents, my husband's parents for Pesach. And I have twins that were just born a few months ago. I can't handle my whole family. Between the children and the 2 babies, I need someone to come along. And I'm willing to pay a ticket. As long as this young lady takes care of my children on the way there and the way back, she can go for free." And this girl raises her hand. She goes, "I'm happy to do you a chesed." Bottom line is, she went home for Pesach. She came back exactly like she had said. If Hashem wants me to go, I'll go. Because you see, when we just let go, when we release ourselves, and we say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, everything is in your hand. The most amazing and incredible types of things happen at that moment.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org